We got to turn our attention to the NFL, everybody, because Aaron Rodgers just likes to keep us on our toes and keeps everybody guessing. And he left a lot of people guessing where he was for mandatory minicamp. Turns out he was actually in Egypt. Yeah, the Jets, they didn't seem like they really minded. But if you're his teammates, guys, what are you thinking right now?
If I'm one of his teammates, and it's not like I guess I could say anything if I was one of his teammates, but I'd be like, bro, what are we doing? Honestly,
to yourself, though.
Yeah, probably. Right. Like, I hope a guy like Garrett Wilson's up there, like, you know, even if he doesn't say anything in public, like, hey, bro, come on. Like, we had talked about
Garrett
this.
Wilson's like, man, do what you got to do. I just need you to be on the field.
Well, yeah, but that's the other part about it. It's not like this is a dude who's coming off of, you know, a great season, year one in New York, and he got to build up that chemistry on the field throughout the course of an NFL season. Nah, he played 4 snaps, and his Achilles was
Wait, not 4 games?
No, 4 snaps. And then his Achilles was like, hey, bro, I'm out of here.
Not even 4 minutes.
Hey, we're going to head out. Me and Achilles, we're going to head out.
We gonna head out.
So you have that. Then you have the idea that you could have picked at any point basically throughout the spring to take this trip. You had basically from mid-April up until the beginning parts of June where you're at voluntary workouts. You don't have to be there. We've seen where veteran guys don't show up. Typically, quarterbacks are expected to be there. If they're got a contract situation, they might not be.
Of course.
And he did all that. That was really no problem. But when it gets to the mandatory part, he's like, no, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to go on my trip that I had already pre-planned during the part where you get to find me and the media is going to be asking questions about it. You want to know why? This is why I think. Because Aaron Rodgers doesn't like to follow rules. He does not like to be told what to do. And so when they told him you had to be in here, get your ass in the building, you have to be here or else it's going to hurt your paycheck, he's like, no, I'm not going to do it because that's my character.
You shouldn't be told to show up for your teammates and at minicamp. You missed all of last season. Don't you feel like you have something to prove here? Don't you feel like you owe your teammates, like, hey, I had all offseason to go to Egypt. Maybe I should just show up?
You know what? He could have done his rehab in Egypt during the season, too.
I wonder how the facilities are in Egypt.
Guys, firstly, I want to preface this by saying, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I don't do that. Right? I just don't think it's a smart decision. However, the Jets organization and the Jets teammates do not seem to have a problem with it. And like you said, he was there for all the involuntary stuff or the voluntary workouts, and he has a trip planned to Egypt, which I've been to Egypt. It's a great trip. It's very, very fun. I just don't see this as a huge issue just because if it's about getting better for a championship, I don't know how much better you're going to get in those days, right? Especially since he's been during the offseason, and we don't know all that he's done with his teammates, but I'm sure that because he only played 4 snaps, he's been with his teammates making sure they're getting their cohesiveness together to make sure this is a really good football season because he knows that not only his job is on the line, but everybody else's job is tied to his. So missing a couple days, I think I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't love it. However, it's not the end of the world for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets.
It's what it represents for Aaron Rodgers, though. A guy who has been anti-establishment, who has been counter-culture.
Big time anti-establishment.
And the one time you decide that you want to take a trip is the time where you are mandated per the CBA that you must be there or else it is going to be a problem, is the time that you decide to take your leisure time. That's the issue for me. This is not a guy who on a one-off said, I'm going to break the rules. This is a guy who's like, I love to challenge everything. And frankly, I like that for him personally, but football is not a space where you get to challenge everything. You have to be brainwashed to a certain degree to be a football player, and he won't do it. And it's fine for him, but that's not great for the team.
It's fine for but listen, this is the thing. You know this, JP. Everybody's not treated the same. Some people have different privileges. And we don't know if he had a conversation with Saleh, like, hey, I'm taking this trip, whatever the case may be. And Saleh's like, all right, I got to say this in the media because I can't just let it seem like I let you go on this trip. I'm telling you, Aaron Rodgers did not just say, surprise, I'm not going to come. Somebody knew, and it's just the media that kind of blew it up. You got to deal with it, and that's fine, but I don't think the team is
bad.
I think you're jumping through.
I don't think he cares about the media backlash. He went on a darkness retreat. He doesn't care about the media backlash.
Why do you think he went to Egypt? I'm so curious. What's he doing?
It don't matter what he was doing.
He wanted to see the first paper. I'm telling you, it's a cool experience. The first paper ever made. They use this plant and they tear it and then they layer it. They soak it.
You saw the first paper ever made.
First paper. It's so cool how they make it.
How do they know it's the first paper ever made?
Well, I mean,
we talked about
I have so many questions.
But anyway,
Sorry.
I'm 100% sure he had a conversation with them.
Yeah.
Because when Saleh was talking about it, he was like, yeah, we knew he wasn't going to be here, but this was not an excused absence. So he went against their wishes.
It's against the rules to give an excuse for Saleh or for the Jets.
Is it against the rules?
I mean, I guess they could, but that's a bad look
I'm
for
sure
them.
that there are circumstances where you
He should have avoided the whole thing.
That's the
we
point.
can agree on that.
That's the whole point.
But I don't think it's a big deal.
Is nobody wanted him to do this, but he does not care, and that's being a bad teammate.
It's not a rule. He's not a great teammate. We're not saying a great teammate. Nobody says a great teammate.
All right.
And if they don't win some games, I'm talking about Egypt.
Now we're going to bring it back up. We got to bring it back up.
We've reached our Aaron Rodgers quota for the day. Thank you.